You know, when we think about the fight against cancer, we usually picture this big battle against a single tumor. But what if the deadliest part of the disease isn't the tumor itself, but its incredible ability to escape? Today, we're going to look at a company that's not just trying to win the battle, they're trying to change the entire war.
So to really get what they're doing, we first have to get crystal clear on the problem they're trying to solve. And it's not just cancer. It's about what makes cancer so unbelievably lethal.
And this is the human cost of that problem. This came from a social media post by a mother with triple-negative breast cancer. She passed away just a few months later. Her fear, it's not an abstract concept. It's the absolute heart of what we're talking about today.
Now look at this number, 90%. This is the one that really stops you in your tracks. A staggering 90% of all cancer-related deaths aren't caused by the first tumor that pops up. They're caused by the cancer spreading.
And that spread, it has a name, metastasis. Basically, it's when cancer cells break off from that original tumor, get into the bloodstream or lymph system, travel around the body, and set up new tumors somewhere else. For the vast majority of patients, this is the true enemy.
So, okay, if metastasis is the real killer, why haven't we been able to stop it? Well, it turns out that our main weapons, as powerful as they are, have this critical blind spot.
Think about it. Surgery, chemotherapy, radiotherapy. These are the pillars of cancer treatment, and they are all fantastic at attacking tumors that are already there. But look at that last column. Their one shared weakness? None of them are actually designed to stop the process of metastasis itself. It's like they're great at fighting the fire, but they can't stop the embers from blowing in the wind and starting new fires all over the field.
And this chart, wow, this just perfectly illustrates the result of that blind spot. Over almost 20 years, we've had over 120 new drugs approved for solid tumors, a huge effort. But the average gain in overall survival, just 2.8 months. It's a story of monumental effort for these really small, often heartbreakingly small gains.
Okay, so this is where a company called Mestistop decided to step in and ask a totally different question. They basically proposed we change the entire strategy.
And this question is everything. I mean, for decades, cancer research has pretty much treated growth and spread as part of the same thing. But what if they're not? What if stopping a cell from multiplying is a totally different biological puzzle than stopping a cell from picking up and moving across the body?
This really visualizes that fundamental shift. For so long, the strategy was like a siege. Just throw everything you've got at the fortress, the tumor. The new strategy is about building a net. It's about stopping the soldiers from ever leaving the castle walls to begin with.
So if you're going to fight this new battle, you're going to need some brand new weapons and some new intelligence. And that's exactly what Metascope built.
They've got this three-step engine for discovery. First, they recreate the entire journey of metastasis in the lab, using actual patient tumors. It's like building a tiny model of the disease. Then, an AI-driven system analyzes that journey to find its weakest links. And finally, they validate potential drugs against those weak spots in super high-speed model. It's a complete cycle. Recreate, analyze, and validate.
And the real power of this platform is just how versatile it is. It's not about finding just one magic bullet. It can discover totally new drug targets, find new uses for old drugs we already have, and even help doctors figure out which patients are most likely to have their cancer spread. It gives them multiple shots on goal.
But here's the thing. A revolutionary scientific idea is one thing. Actually turning it into a treatment that reaches a patient, well, that's a whole other journey. And it's filled with some massive financial hurdles.
And make no mistake, this work is a marathon, not a sprint. The company started back in 2018, and it took 5 whole years just to lock down the main patents in India and the US. Their first big partnership deal, the point where the science really starts to become a product, is still a couple of years away.
This journey has a nickname in the industry. They call it the Valley of Death. It's that brutal, long, expensive period where you have to burn through millions of dollars on research and development for years, with basically zero income, just hoping you can survive long enough to have a breakthrough.
And these are the hard numbers. This is Metastop's financial journey, right from their business plan. You can see that valley of death in real time. Hundreds of thousands of dollars in losses, year after year after year. But then look at 2027. That's the projected inflection point. That's where a licensing deal could turn all those losses into a multi-million-dollar profit. That is the light at the end of the valley.
Which, brings us right back to where we started. Because behind all the complex science and the patents and the financial spreadsheets,
There is a very, very simple and very human goal.
The mission is to give people more time, more birthdays, more moments, more tomorrows. It's about translating all this incredible science back into the one thing that truly matters to people.
You know, for decades, we've been fighting this incredibly honorable but often frustrating battle against cancer. By completely changing the rules of engagement and focusing on stopping the spread, you have to wonder, could this new approach finally be how we turn the tide in our longest war?